we're recording. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna scoot this down so we know that we're gonna be reviewing for the benchmark today, and we're gonna do adding, subtracting, multiply, dividing, decimals. We're gonna be doing order of operations, so PEMDAS, which we're gonna go over. We're gonna go over financial literacy, so taxes and income, and we're also gonna go over adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions, which we've been working on. So we just started adding our decimals. So like I was saying, it is very important that you line up your decimals and make sure that they are in a row. So we just added 0 plus 2 is 2. We have 2 plus 8, so that's going to be 10. So we need to drop the 0 and carry the 8, carry the 1. We already have our decimal right there, so we can drop the decimal, and y'all can do this with me. We have 9, and then we have a 1 and a 1, so we know 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 1 more is 11, so we can drop the 1, carry the 1, and we know that 3 plus 1 is going to be 4, 5, so our answer is going to be 51.02, and we have our decimal right where we kept it. We just dropped it down. Okay, so again, when you're adding decimals, it's important that you keep them in line. All right, now let's talk about subtracting decimals. Sorry, give me a thumbs up if you understand adding decimals. It's just like regular adding. Give me a thumbs up if you get it. Thumbs up, beautiful. Anyone questionable? Fantastic. All right, so let's look at subtracting decimals. So let's look at, we are gonna do, we're gonna do 27.001, and we're gonna do minus, and again, you have to line up your decimals. So 7.500. All right, so whenever you're subtracting, it's the same exact thing. You have to line up your decimals, and then you just subtract how you would any other day. So 1 minus 0 is 0, 0 minus 0 is 0. Then we have 0 minus 5. Well, we can't take away 5 from 0, so we got to borrow from our neighbor. So we're going to change that. That's going to be a 6, and we're going to change that to a 10. So the 10 minus 5 is going to be 5. We have our decimals right here, so we're going to have to drop the decimal to the bottom. And we have 6 minus 7, so we're going to go ahead and borrow again. That's going to be a 1. And then we have 16. So who can tell me what's 16 minus 7? What is 16 minus 7? Good, Jocelyn. So it's going to be a 9. 16 minus 7 is 9. And then the 1 is all the way down. So your answer is 19.501. Phenomenal, guys. All right. Now we already talked about multiplying, and I'm going to move this paper over so y'all don't get confused. All right, so now we're going to do multiplying. Decimals. And remember, whenever we multiply decimals, it's easy just to pretend like the decimal is not there. Oops, we can't see. I'm going to scoot over. I'm going to scoot this over and put this here. There we go. All right, so whenever we're multiplying decimals, so we're going to multiply 4.23, and we're going to multiply it by 9. When we're multiplying decimals, remember, we just need to look at how many decimals are to the right, and then that's when we need to put the same amount of decimals to the right in our answer. So we can just pretend like the decimal isn't there, and we can insert the decimal into our final answer. So let's look at 9 times 3 is 27, so we're going to drop the 7, carry the 3, carry the 2. And so 9 times 2 is 18. Plus 2 is 20, so we're going to drop the 0, and then we're going to carry the 2. And 9 times 4 is 36. Then we have 3738, so we can drop that. Then we have 2 to the right here, so we need 2 to the right here. So our answer is going to be 38.07. Simple enough. Thumbs up, thumbs down. We get it. It's easy. It's confusing. Beautiful. All right, let's talk a little bit. Sorry, I saw something in the comment box. I'm just making sure it's not a question. Okay, no questions. Beautiful. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to do dividing. Decimals. And it's also important when you're dividing decimals to keep your decimals in line. So we're going to look at 2.072 and we're going to divide it by 5.6. So what we're going to do when we're dividing decimals is we're going to get one of these to be a whole number. So we're going to move the decimals over. What I want you to do is you're going to do to the left what you do to the right. So what you do to this number, you got to do to this number. So we're going to move this decimal over 1. That's going to give us 56. And then we're going to move this decimal over 1. That's going to give us 20.72. So we're going to go ahead and set up our problem. 20.72 and 56. So again, you can just pretend like the decimal isn't there, but you're also going to keep it up here at the top. And then you can just divide and pretend like the decimal's not there. Let me speed up a little bit. So we're looking at 56. Remember, when you're dividing, you're trying to see how many times can I get this number into this number. Well, you got to start with the first number. Can you put 56 into 2? No, you cannot. Can you put 56 into 20? No. Can you put 56 into 207? Yes, you can. Miss Burleson's going to cheat a little bit. I am going to... Ooh, my phone is dying. I am going to divide very quickly. So I'm going to do 207. Oops, that's a big number. 207 divided by 56. So we can get 56 into 207 3 times. So we put the 3 up here. And 56 times 3 is going to be 168. So we have to subtract 168 from here. And 207 minus 168. Miss Burleson's cheating again. I'm not telling you to use calculators. I'm not telling you not to. That's up to you. I didn't say that. All right, so 207 minus 168 is going to give us 39. We got to drop the 2. Remember, anytime you have a leftover over here, you got to drop it. So then we have 392. So luckily, 392 divided by 56 is going to give us an even 7. And that's going to give us 392. So we subtract it. We're going to get 0. So we have nothing left over. And your answer is going to be 0.37. Does everyone understand? Adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing with decimals. Thumbs up, thumbs down. We got it, we don't. All right, so let's talk very quickly about PEMDAS. Where's the corner? Where's the corner? There we are. All right, so I'm going to write PEMDAS right here. Get your brain going. Tell me, what does each letter stand for? What does the P stand for? Who remembers?
Parentheses.
Parentheses, good. E, what does the E stand for?
Exponents.
Beautiful. Someone, I know you know the answer, Lene. Who else knows the answer to M? What is M?
Multiply.
Multiply. Multiplication. Divide. Give it to me. What is it? Or I gave it to you. Sorry. Ha ha ha. I said it. Sorry, y'all. A. What is the answer to A? What is it?
Addition.
Addition. All right, Lene, you're not allowed to say it.
Subtraction.
Lene said it. Subtraction. So always write this. Always write this by your side whenever you're doing this, just so you can keep it there and you can, I'm trying to make this as like even as possible. So keep it by your side so that way you can say, oh, what do I start with? What did I already do? What do I have left? So you can go down the line for each problem you have. So I'm just going to make one up real quick. Let's do 12 minus, let's do,
Parentheses 6, like,
let's do,
this.
yeah, let's do, actually, I'm going to do a bigger number. Let's change it up a little bit. Because last time I got a negative. So let's do 32. And we're going to do minus 8 plus 3 times 2. All right, so automatically off the bat, looking at that, what is the first thing you're going to do?
Parentheses.
Parentheses. Always do parentheses first. So 3 times 2 is going to be 6. And then you always bring down the rest of your problem so you know what you're going to do next. So we already did parentheses. Do we have any exponents? No. Do we have any multiplication? We already did it because it was in the parentheses. Do we have any division? No. Do we have addition? Yes. So 8 plus 6. What's 8 plus 6? What's 8 plus 6, y'all?
14.
14. Good. And then we have 32 minus 14. So we don't have anything else left. So what's 32 minus 14? I see 18. Good. So is it 18? Wait, 14. Yep. So it's 18. So your answer is 18. Let's do one more. All right. So we're going to do 15 plus 7. Let's do parentheses. 3 plus 1. Let's do minus 9 divided by 3. So this one's a long one. So again, what do we do first? Parentheses. So we're going to have parentheses 4. We can keep the parentheses. We're going to bring down the whole problem. Athena, what are we going to do next? What are we going to do next?
We are going to add.
We're going to add. Did we look at exponents? Did we look at multiplication? You got to go down the row. So do we have any exponents? No, we don't have any exponents. Do we have any multiplication?
No.
No, so I don't see any multiplication, but right here, who knows what you do when you have a number that is right next to a number that has parentheses around it?
I think you multiply it.
You multiply. So anytime a number is right next to parentheses with a number in it, you multiply. Don't forget that part. So what's 7 times 4?
28.
28, beautiful. So you bring down the rest of it. So we didn't have exponents. We didn't have we did the multiplication. So do we have division?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So 9 divided by 3 is, good, Jaslyn, 3. So then you bring down the whole thing. All right, so we did division. What comes next?
Since they're addition.
Good, addition. So we're going to add 15 plus 28. What's 15 plus 28? $43. Good, Athena. Good, Jaslyn. So 43 minus 3 is going to give us 40, and that is your answer. Does everyone understand PEMDAS? Does everyone understand order of operations? Thumbs up, thumbs down, middle thumb. What do we got? Beautiful, fantastic, phenomenal. All right, so let's go over, and it's been a while since we talked about this. So we're going to go over our financial literacy. So we learned about types of taxes, and then we learned about types of income. So remember, I'm going to cover it up. What's a sales tax? Where do you find sales taxes? What are they on? What are they for? What are they? Don't look. What is a sales tax? A sales tax is any tax that is on a good or a service. So what's the difference between a good or a service? Who remembers? What's a good? What are goods?
I think goods are like what you want and services are what you like need.
So you're kind of right. You're almost there. So goods can be anything that you can buy that's a thing. So anything that you can touch, anything tangible, a computer, jewelry, food. So anything that you can touch is a good. A service is an act, is something that they do, like fixing your car, or I don't know, giving you a foot massage, or getting your nails done. Anything that is a service, anything that something gets done is your sales tax on goods and services. So payroll tax, remember payroll tax is all of our employers, so anyone you work for is going to take some money out of your paycheck, and that's called payroll tax. So that goes to the employer, that goes to the person that you work for. Income tax, who remembers what income tax is? What is it? What's an income tax?
I think it's the money you earn.
So you're very close. Income tax is actually the money that you that is taken from you, that the government takes depending on how much you make. So the income tax is the money that the government takes. And this one's easy. What's property taxes? That one's easy. Who remembers that one?
It's like your home.
Good. So any taxes that are on your home or the place where you live. If you're renting, you don't do property taxes. Only if you own your house or you own a townhome, any kind of property that you have. So we have net income and gross income. What's the difference? Who remembers? What's the difference? Which one's which?
I think income. Oh, sorry, so go on.
Oh, I think gross income is that the government takes money, like before you.
I think that net income is the money that you take.
So
the net income is like the money that the government takes.
Before.
So I get exactly what y'all are saying. So remember, I told you think of like a net, like a butterfly net. If you catch it, you get to keep it. So net income is everything you get to keep. Gross income is the total before taxes. So let's say that I get $200 and that's my gross income. That's the total amount that I made. But I have to pay $2 for insurance. I have to pay, $50 to I don't know, the income tax, and 20 of that it goes to my employer. So I really only get like $148. So the 148, that's going to go in my bank account. That's mine. Nobody gets to touch it. It's what I get to keep. So gross income is the total you get before taxes, and net income is the total that you get to keep. You take it home. Okay, so everyone good on taxes? Everyone good on income? Do we get it? Do we not? Do we feel it? Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? All right, let's go ahead and talk fractions. We've been doing fractions for a while. I know y'all are going to get this one very quickly. All right, so we're going to talk about adding fractions. We did that not that long ago. So we're going to add fractions. All right, so let's do by whole numbers. My battery's running low, guys, but we're almost done, so I think we'll be able to make it. It'll be okay. And whole numbers. Oh, wait a minute. Did I mean whole numbers? Adding fractions?
Miss, can you put your document?
Oh, oops, sorry. Yes, you can see. Okay, so adding two fractions together, I was supposed to write with unlike denominators. All right, with unlike denominators. So let's say that I have 1/2 and 1/5. So sometimes you'll have an instance where one of your fractions can go into the other fraction, so you only need to multiply 1. This is not the case. We can't put 2 into 5, and we definitely can't put 5 into 2. So we have to think, what are my, what's going to be my least common denominator? So I always like to list it because that way you can't get it wrong. We have, let's count our multiples of 2. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. We'll stop right there. Let's count 5. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20. All right, we can stop because I already see we have a least common denominator, which is going to be 10. So we're going to make sure these both end up to be 10. So our new denominators are going to be 10. So how do we get 10 from 5? How do we turn 5 into 10? What do we multiply by?
You multiplied it by 2, and what you do to the bottom, you have to do to the
So what you do, oops, I skipped ahead. Sorry, you're right. So what you do to the bottom, you got to do to the top. So you're going to multiply both the top and the bottom by 2. So that's going to give you 1 times 2 is 2, and 5 times 2 is 10. So then how do we get 2 to 10? What do we multiply 2 by?
5.
So we multiply it by 5. So we have to multiply the top and the bottom. Like she said, what we did to the top, we have to do to the bottom. So 1 times 5 is going to be, and we're going to bring this down, 5. And then 5 times 2 is going to be 10. Now we have a common denominator. They're the same. So we can we can add across the top, which is going to be 7 over 10. And that is your answer. Everybody understand adding fractions with unlike denominators. All right, now we're going to do subtracting fractions. So let's look at 9 over 10 minus 2 over 3. So we have 10 and 3. So we're going to have to list a lot of our multiples because I think it's going to be a while till we get to a common denominator. So let's look at the multiples of 10. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We can probably stop right there. Now let's find a common denominator. Let's find the least common denominator. Let's list the multiples of 3. So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Do we see a common denominator yet? No. So we're going to have to keep going. So 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Oh, there it is. There's our least common denominator. So we're going to have to make both of them 30. So what do we multiply 10 by to get to 30? 3. So we're going to multiply by 3 over 3. And that's going to turn it into 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 10 is 30. So what do we multiply 3 by to get it to 10? 10. So we're going to multiply 10 and 10 on the top and the bottom. So 2 times 10 is going to be 20. And 3 times 10 is going to be 30. So now we can subtract because we have a common denominator. So 27 minus 20 is going to be